In the words of former world heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson, everybody has a plan, until he gets hit. In this 8-part series of talks, I'm going to outline a project management approach that comprises a variety of project planning, implementation, monitoring and evaluation tools to help you achieve better results in an uncertain world. A world in which you can be certain of one thing at the very least, that you will get hit. Hi, my name is John Mauremootoo. I'm a project planning, monitoring and evaluation consultant who provides support for international development projects. I've worked in projects in various capacities for about 30 years, in over 30 countries in some way, shape or form. In all this time, in all these countries, I have never ever seen any project go exactly according to plan. But, despite this fact, I remain firmly convinced of the importance of planning. As the late US President Dwight D. Eisenhower said, plans are useless but planning is indispensable. In this series of talks I will outline some of the reasons that projects invariably suffer from cost and time overruns and do not deliver according to specifications. I will then outline some approaches that can be used to manage projects in these real-world situations. I've collected and organised these approaches into what I call the Humble Project Management Toolkit. The components of this toolkit are approaches that can help you to hesitate, to encourage reflection, understand the project's ecosystem, manage in alignment with the project's ecosystem, bring in diverse perspectives, learn constantly, and embrace uncertainty. So what makes this toolkit humble, apart from the fact that the first letters of the toolkit's components make an easy-to-remember mnemonic? I would like to think of this approach as being humble for many reasons, including the following. It is humble because it acknowledges that the project is only one among many forces that operate in the system under consideration. It is humble because it recognises that the project's personnel do not have all the answers. And it is humble because it makes it clear that despite every good intention, the Humble Project Management Toolkit is not a magic bullet and can never offer a guarantee of success. However, embracing the approaches introduced in these talks does help to improve the chances of success in a world in which unpredictable change is ever present and on the increase. This presentation is divided into 8 parts. This introduction is part 1. In part 2 I talk about the so-called Planning Fallacy, why projects go over budget, over time and fail to deliver according to specification over and over again. In part 3 I introduce the concept of bounded rationality, the enemy of rational decision making, why we often think a bit like Homer Simpson and how this can affect our project management actions. In part 4 I discuss complexity, the fact that in many cases 1 plus 1 does not equal 2, and the implications of this for project management. Following these introductory sections, I begin to outline the Humble Project Management Toolkit in Part 5 as a set of approaches that can be applied to get better results in an uncertain world. H is for hesitate, to encourage reflection. I outline the value of getting into the gap to facilitate structured reflection as a resourceful alternative to knee-jerk reactions. In Part 6 I outline approaches that we can use to understand our project's ecosystem and to manage in alignment with this ecosystem. I look at the ecosystem in terms of the landscape in which the project is embedded, project objectives and processes, and organisational practices. As the African proverb states, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. In Part 7 I introduce approaches to bring in diverse perspectives in terms of involving multiple stakeholders and standpoints. In the 8th and final part of this talk, I introduce perspectives that help us to learn constantly, through knowledge exchange, learning by doing, through awareness and through acceptance of both ourselves and of others, and the importance of embracing uncertainty. In the words of Eric Fromm, the quest for certainty blocks the search for meaning. Uncertainty is the very condition to impel man to unfold his powers. In the next part I outline the project planning fallacy. See you soon.